Hello, welcome to Dungeon Drawers Podcast. I'm your host, Justin. So today, we finally did it. We finished the Inhumans, the origin of the Inhumans by Stanley Jack Kirby, which this took me like 2 weeks to read. This costs like $39.99 US, $43.99 Canadian. It collects Fantastic Four, 1961 issues 36, 38, 41 through 47, 62 through 65, and excerpts from issues 48, 50, 52, 54 through 61, and annual 1963 issue 5, and for 1966 issues 146 through 52. And it also has this parody comic book called Not Brand Ek, which came out in 1967, issue 6, which is it's like a parody book, but it's also written by Stanley Jack Kirby, where it's about like Johnny Storm marrying Crystal and him spending time with the in-laws, the other Inhumans, and hating it, and like, you know, tricking the Sandman into attacking while he's attacking the place where he's like having family dinner with the in-laws, right? And it was okay. It wasn't that funny, but there was some jokes in there that implied some stuff that probably wouldn't pass by today. So like this book obviously chronicles the first appearances of the Inhumans, which is this team of not superheroes or supervillains per se. It depends. Like some of the characters start off as supervillains for the Fantastic Four, but they work it out. Which they're this array. They're kind of like the X-Men, where they're this race of superhumans, but they weren't created through nature. They were basically in the secret origin. They were like the Kree, which is this race of aliens, came to Earth and did experiments on a group of humans, and those group of humans became the Inhumans, which are the superhumans, like I said, that created the city and, you know, keep themselves isolated from the rest of the world. And the current king of the Inhumans, which they live in a city called Attilan. The current king is Black Bolt, whose superpowers are he has enhanced strength, flight, can shoot like energy beams, and he also, his main superpower, which they don't let you know right away, is that any noise that he makes creates this super powerful what would you call it, sonic wave, which can destroy pretty much anything, which is kept as a secret to halfway through the book, right? Which this book is 425 pages long. Technically, my bad, it's 422, right? So like the book, the other members of the team are Medusa, who is they're all the humans are cousins of Black Bolt, but like he's the love interest of Black Bolt, which he eventually marries, because, you know, it's there are shallow waters at the Inhumans city, which Medusa has long red hair, which she can control, kind of like that girl from Justice League International, New 52. I can't remember her name. It's some British superhero. She can control her hair, right? Which there was a character from Part 4 of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure who could do that. Who was like, what's his name? Stalker. I can't remember. Like Crap! I was watching JoJo's Bizarre Adventure earlier. I can't remember his name. Is it Kyoichi? Yeah, Koichi's stalker girlfriend has the same stand power. You have Karnak, whose special ability is that he knows karate and can probe the weaknesses of any structure or person, and can destroy them in a single hit, except if it goes against the continuity, or like, you know, they need that character need that character's power not to work at the moment or whatever, for like story reasons. Then he can't do it. But yeah, you have Trident, who is like a merman pretty much, who can't breathe on land, or he can for short periods of time. He's basically Namor. He's just as strong as Namor, but he can't fly. You have Gorgon, who's the powerhouse of the Inhumans, who can stomp his feet and create like earthquakes and stuff. And you have Crystal, who's the sister of Medusa, who can control the elements like fire, water, wind, earth. she's basically the Avatar from Avatar, right? So so most of the comic book, and I gotta say, I really enjoyed Jack Kirby's iconic stellar art, but it's the thing where like I've noticed like mistakes here and there with the art, colors and stuff like that, and like the dialogue. This was written in the '60s, so it's super dated. And then there's the thing where like you pick up this book to read about the Inhumans, but because they started off, like all their first appearances are like in Fantastic Four issues. Most of the book you're reading about the Fantastic Four. So what's gonna make it or break it for this book is if you're a fan of the Fantastic Four, right? And it's the thing where like I'm not a huge fan of Fantastic Four, but I actually really enjoyed the book. There's some stuff in here today where like, oh my god, you couldn't have in modern books, like all the bickering that like goes on between like Reed Richards and his wife, who the book starts off with them announcing their engagement, and there's a party where they have an engagement party where you get to see like all the other Marvel superheroes, which obviously there weren't a lot back then. So like there was like only like the Avengers, X-Men. Spider-Man wasn't invited. He's like hanging out outside the building and steals a cake, right? Yeah, so it's pretty much just the X-Men and the Avengers, right? And the book starts off with the Fantastic Four fighting this group of villains called the Frightful Four, which is a character who looks like the Vincent Price called the Wizard, who's like a scientist that can control has anti-gravity gadgets. He creates a team to fight the Fantastic Four with Medusa, who first appears, that's her first appearance. Sandman is part of the team, and also a character called Paste Pot Pete, who is this guy who has like a glue gun, but like he changes his name to the Trapster. So like after all those issues, which there's a lot of issues with the Frightful Four, they introduce the Inhumans one by one. First off, it starts off with the Gorgon, who is sent by Black Bolt to retrieve Medusa because the Inhumans are not supposed to interact with humans, right? And after that, that's when they start fighting the Inhumans. They also fight Dragon Man, makes an appearance, right? During the whole Inhumans fight, Johnny Storm falls in love with Crystal, who's the sister of Medusa. I also forgot to talk about Lockjaw, who is this pet dog of the Inhumans, who's basically a giant bulldog who can teleport, by the way. And he's also super strong. Yeah. So what ends up happening is like the Fantastic Four teams up with the Inhumans after Johnny falls in love with Crystal. Turns out the Inhumans are actually exiles, and that Black Bolt's brother Maximus the Mad steals the throne from his brother Black Bolt, and they take the crown back, but Maximus creates this weapon that tries to wipe out all the humans. It fails, and he creates this impregnable wall of negative zone energy, which traps the Inhumans in there. And then Johnny Storm is separated from Crystal, and he goes through he goes to college, starts moping about missing Crystal. He meets up with Wyatt Wingfoot, which is this character who you might have heard about him in the Ultimate Alliance game. That's where I first heard about him. Who's a Native American who's best friends with Johnny Storm. When Johnny Storm has time off from college, he joins up with the Fantastic Four, and joins up with the Fantastic Four, hangs out with Black Panther. While this is going on, the Inhumans are trying to break out of the negative zone barrier. Black Bolt uses his reveals his secret power, which is his all-powerful voice, which cracks the negative zone barrier, which Reed Richards told everybody, which that it would be impossible, right? So after that, they fight other villains. At one point, they fight Ronan the Accuser, which that was cool. After they destroy this secret Kree base that was protected by a giant robot called the Sentry, who also appears in the Inhumans origin story. And after that, it just the book just ends with the secret origin of the Inhumans, and then there's a couple issues with Trident getting captured by a movie studio that were filming a rip off of the Creature of the Black Lagoon. But he once he gets to New York, he releases himself, and that's where the book ends. So I don't know. There's some really cool stuff in here. Nice to see all the old characters. Nice to see all the characters back in their Silver Age, costumes and stuff. Really enjoyed the Fantastic Four. The Thing is pretty funny with his dialogue, right? And there's some cool action here and there. But the thing about this book is, if I were to give it a rating, I would give it a 7 out of 10. But it's the thing with this book is that you have to be open-minded and open-minded with 1960s comics, knowing that hey, things were different back then. There's going to be some sexist stuff in there, especially with the Reed Richards and Invisible Women, Big Brain, where a lot of the time she'll do stupid stuff, and then Reed Richards will be like, "You dumb adult brain, bird brain woman," or so. He'll say crazy shit like that, which I thought was hilarious. But yeah, so I don't know. It's the thing where like I said, like you have to, if you don't mind like reading old comics, this is great, and it's like I said, like it's yeah, it's a bit pricey, but you're getting a lot of reading for your buck, right? 'Cause there's like there's like 15 issues worth of stuff in there, man, and it took me like I said, it took me like 2 weeks to read this book. It was like it's pretty much the length of an regular book, man. Like right when you think about like that how like long your average trade takes to read, which which is like an hour or so. This took me like I said like 2 weeks to read. So that's like what like maybe like 5 hours worth of content here, man. Like dude. At least three. I would say like at least this would take at least 3 hours to read, man. So like I said, there's lots of content in there, and like the Inhumans are pretty cool characters, and then there's like I said, there's the classic, iconic Jack Kirby art, man. There's a reason why they call Jack Kirby the King. Also, there's like Stan Lee makes some jokes here and there with the introductions. Like, and he really hates this guy called Artie Samek, who's like a letterer who he keeps making. Like, he'll introduce all the staff for the books as like the amazing Stan Lee, Jack the Kirby King, like the energetic what's his name, and then the slothful Artie Samek and shit like he constantly makes fun of this letterer Artie Samek. Which I don't know what his problem was. I don't know. I thought it was kind of funny. So yeah, that's the end of this review. My next comic book review is going to be Spawn Volume 1, which is part of the Origins collection. I mostly do reviewing that because I talked about the movie recently, so I'm kind of in the mood to read Spawn. Right, and then after I read Spawn, we're going to do, instead of doing one DC review for the rotation, I'm going to do two because I have like a lot more DC books in the backlog than I do at Marvel, so I kind of want to speed things up. So it'll be like I'll do like a Batman and Superman review, and then we'll do like another Marvel review. All right, guys, that's it for today's review. Peace.